What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to give you guys a quick market update as Bitcoin is continuing to spill to the downside. What are the next key levels we need to keep our eye on? Are we going to bounce from where we're at right now? I'm going to try to break all that down in today's market update. So buckle up, Mafia. This is going to be a quick one, but it's going to be super saucy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart. And if you guys watched the live stream at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night, you will know we were talking about a very important level of support that if we were unable to reclaim would likely cause another move to the downside. Now, the level that I was talking about was the value area low sitting here at about $64,550. Now, this level does move depending on what time frame you're on or what exchange you're looking at, etc. The zone we were looking at was between 64,500 and 64,700, as this was the value area low of our range. And as you guys know, anytime you're able to reclaim one of those value area lows, you are going to likely move up to your POC, and once you break that level, you can look for a move up to that value area high. However, we were clearly unable to break above this level, and it did indeed result in a little bit of a move to the downside to the tune of about 7.5%. And I know a lot of people are out there scared. They're worried. Are we going to 2K? Is Bitcoin about to dump down to zero? And I want to give you guys some levels underneath us that we have to be keeping our eye on, and kind of the next levels that I'm looking at for a bounce. And in turn, if we do not hold these levels, it could wind up being very bad for Bitcoin. So let's go over these levels right now. So as we were unable to reclaim this value area low, if we do wind up seeing this move continue to the downside, there is a major zone that I am going to be looking at. Now, this is going to be a familiar range, but we do have this range down below, sitting between about 65.2 all the way down to about $57,227. So obviously, guys, we have dipped down into this volume profile, and if we do wind up getting stuck underneath this POC sitting at about $61,000, we could potentially anticipate another push to the downside, bringing us to the value area low of this range, which is the next major level that I'm going to be looking at for long positions. Now, part of the reason I'm looking for longs here is going to be because it is simply the value area low of the range, and as we know, the high probability shorts are sitting at the value area high, and the higher probability longs are typically taken at the low of the volume profile. So if we do get that continued move to the downside, which by the way shouldn't be too much of a shock, as we've been looking at the money flow on the 12 and the 16-hour time frame crossing into the red, and we knew that this may be able to continue the downtrend just a little bit. So again, you know, a lot of people ask me, Frankie Candles, when you're ranging sideways, sure, I understand the volume profiles, and I've been killing the range, shorting the highs and longing the lows, but how do I figure out where the break of that range is going to be? And although it's not 100% accurate, I do like to use the money flow on Market Cypher B for this, and as our higher time frame money flow is trending to the downside, we were looking for a potential deviation below that upper range that we were just looking at, sitting right up here. And we thought that maybe there was a chance we were going to come down based off the money flow. And this is like a perfect example, guys, of how money flow can help us understand the direction of the market and the overall trend that we're about to see. And this has played out almost perfectly. Now, this does not guarantee that we're definitely going to get down to the range lows here, but I definitely want to look at these levels because this value area low at $57,200, again, is going to be a key level of support. Even if we deviate below this range, we can potentially look for long positions as long as we get those bullish confirmations. And this level right down here, you can see is labeled SFP, because if we do wind up wicking below this level, we could potentially get a swing failure pattern bouncing off this backstop of support, which is the value area low. And if we do wind up closing that candle above this SFP level, it could wind up indicating a bigger move to the upside. Now, that's not to say that we're not going to bounce from where we're at right now, but with the fresh red dot here on the 12-hour, there is a possibility that we could continue down a little bit more. And I just wanted to show the Mafia those next two key levels I'm looking at for a potential bounce. And guys, the market is very hard to trade right now. I do want to press that home. So if you're out there trading, make sure you're using your stop losses and managing your risk very tightly, as a lot of these trades, even the ones that we're seeing play out in full in the premium Discord, they're not getting displaying all the confirmations I like to see, which just means that we're in an unpredictable and somewhat of a murky market, as I like to call it. So be careful out there, manage that risk very tightly, and for the most part, do not take trades that are not actually there, guys. I like to take the highest probability setups, which is why I'm watching these levels down here for a more significant long position, because the charts are not 100% clear. We're not getting strong confirmations for a bounce here. So although we could potentially get some kind of turbulence, I would really prefer to see these lower levels get hit. However, we can take the shorter term setups, although they are a bit more risky. I don't want anyone out there thinking that we're not getting into scalp longs and scalp shorts within this little price action here. But for the more significant trades, guys, I really would like to see price come down towards these lower levels. And even if we do get a bounce up from here, I will be looking for shorts, as the money flow on the higher time frames is still trending down and could indicate an even bigger downtrend, which brings me to that line in the sand that we must hold before we get a much bigger move down for Bitcoin. And that really does lie right here at $57,000, guys. We do have some other key levels just below this range, but for the most part, once we start decisively losing this level, we could potentially see a drop all the way down to $51,000 to $52,000. And to be quite honest with you, although I will be looking for longs at this level, and I'll even pull up the VPVR so we can make it even more clear where that level's coming from, I will be looking for longs here. However, the next real significant level of support, and in my opinion, like a worst case scenario, I'm not necessarily calling for this, but if we do get a big move down, it is definitely worth it to have these levels marked out on your chart. And that is going to be this $51,000 to $52,000 level. And guys, this is kind of the last line of support before we wind up getting a bigger move down to this big high volume node. And in my opinion, this is the stronger level, as we have a lot more consolidation in this area. There's much more price action, a much higher volume node. It's actually the POC of all of this price action. I know it's a low target, guys, but this is going to be the stronger level in my opinion. But obviously, you know, I'm not calling for this. I just want you guys to be aware of these bigger levels in case we do see a crazy dump to the downside. Remember, we have these big gaps on the volume profile right here. We have our high volume node, pretty much a giant gap all the way down to 51, 52K. And then if we lose that, we basically have a giant gap all the way back down into the mid to low 40s. So again, these are going to be absolutely critical levels that we need to hold if we do not want to see a much bigger move to the downside on Bitcoin. And to be quite honest with you, the 12 and the 16-hour money flow could be potentially pointing in that direction. If we are not going to see this money flow play out in the bearish manner as we would expect, we need to get some kind of crazy fake out or crazy short squeeze, or we need something to happen here for a bigger move to the upside. Otherwise, Bitcoin is 100% still in the danger zone in my opinion. But again, as long as we're able to stay above these levels, we could potentially continue up. But we are definitely dancing with danger right now. So with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for today's little market update. I wanted to make this one nice and quick, just get this out there to you guys, get you the key levels of support. They're very similar levels to what we've been looking at on the live stream. But as we did get a little bit more of a push down today, I know a lot of people are probably feeling scared. So I just wanted to come in here and give you guys a little bit of hope and at least give you an idea of where the floor is if we wind up getting into a complete free fall. So with all that being said, guys, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you like these quick market updates. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys tonight at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the live stream. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me.